What's going on, crypto traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Sunday. It's June 22nd. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great weekend. And it's another week, another rapid fire news update, this time for the period June 14th to the 20th. And again, it's not a deep dive detail or anything like that. It's just in case you missed it, just a high level overview, and you can dig into it more on your own time. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live, and I also post these news updates every single week. Usually on Sunday, Saturday, I do the MJ Rapid Fire News. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And if we take a look at the market right now, we've been absolutely demolished, and that comes with rising Middle East tensions and the U.S. entering the war. They were targeting some nuclear sites. So not good at all, and we do have futures opening in a couple hours. We were talking about this in the Pow Group private community, how that more than likely could impact the crypto market, and we could see some further sell pressure. But we did confirm hourly bear flags across the sector for most names. Bitcoin, you can see here, once we lost the low there at 98,700, that confirmed it. So the target is 96. And same thing with all the other names. XRP, we've got a target of about 182 now. XLM looking at 21 cents flat. So obviously not great. And like I said, just ahead of futures opening for the S&P 500 here in just a couple hours. So it's looking like we could see some further downside. So brace for impact. We did have some POW Algo ultra oversold alerts go off, which we'll discuss a little bit more in this video a little bit later on. But boom, says Jack the Rippler, you can now buy food and drinks in Japan using XRP and the Zaman wallet. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, if you look at Japan and look at the history, they've been always at the forefront of technology usually, and they're very bullish on XRP. Same with Korea. And there was actually some history with regard to like them having like the iPhone technology essentially before it was even available. And they're at the center of pretty much everything tech. And you can see here, they absolutely love XRP. We know every bank in Japan is rumored to be using XRP by the end of this year, 2025. But imagine trying to buy this with Bitcoin, right? Sit there for minutes or hours and days, potentially doing, if you're doing the transaction, high congestion times. Not with XRP. It's a fraction of a penny, and it happens within about 3 to 4 seconds. Also, Elon Musk's X will soon launch investment and trading features as part of the Everything app vision. So things are about to get pretty insane, folks. And Paul Barron actually put out a poll and said Elon Musk is going to do it, add digital assets to X as well as trading, gunning for the Robinhood app, maybe even Coinbase. Which chain ends up on X? XRP, Sol, and ETH. 91.1% in favor of XRP. So things are going to get very, very interesting very, very quickly. Speaking of Korea, South Korea's Financial Services Commission submits roadmap to approve spot crypto ETFs in second half of 2025. And this is what we've been seeing as well. Canada just launched it. We got some information with regards to that in just a moment. But we're seeing this all around the world. We're seeing crypto legislation all around the world and in the US. Got some information on that. The Genius Act passing, what to expect next, and crypto spot ETFs approving pretty much everywhere. So just in Norway to ban Bitcoin mining facilities. Digitalization Minister Carrie-Anne Tung says Bitcoin mining uses significant electricity with minimal local economic benefits. So this is something that's going to, continue to plague Bitcoin and, proof of work. Why need all this? Why do we need all this mining and energy usage when there's things that don't require mining at all, right? Like XRP, for example. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think they're going to outright ban it, across the world. But there's definitely going to be some, it's really eating into some of the power grids and whatnot. So if you don't have a very robust power grid, there's certain areas of the world that are just going to ban it. So it is what it is. But we'll continue to monitor that as it develops. Just in, the XRP ledger is moving towards decentralized governance with the launch of XAO DAO. So I'd love to see it. This is a decentralized autonomous organization, and we know, there's a lot of people saying that the XRP ledger is centralized. We know it's not, and this is just more proof of the decentralization in the ledger. Also, 3iQ Digital Asset Management. So they launched their spot XRP ETF in Canada this week. It's called XRPQ is the ticker, and that's on the Toronto Stock Exchange. They've been around since 2012. Purpose Investments launched theirs as well. They've got a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana ETF, and they've got about $12 billion in assets under management, but they're more broad. And then 3iQ has about 2 or 3 billion assets under management as of the last update, but they're more focused on digital assets. So I went with the Purpose ETF, and that's XRPP. I sold XRP, which is the Teucrium 2X leveraged ETFs. It's a futures-based one, so it's not spot. The reason why I sold that is because it's in my tax-free savings account, and I'm holding it long-term, and it's not good to hold leveraged ETFs in like a long-term position. You don't want to do that, because they get that extra leverage, they get that extra percent gain because of futures contracts and whatnot. So it has a natural type of decay built into it. So it's not good for long-term holds. You're only supposed to hold it for, day trades or potentially weeks, no more than, a couple months usually is what it's forecasted at. I didn't have an option to buy an XRP ETF, but now I do. So I switched that over to XRPP, which is the Purpose ETF. And again, I just went with that one just because they have more assets under management. But I don't think you can go wrong with 3iQ. They were offering 0% management fee as well on that for the first 6 months. Also, just in, Coinbase is seeking approval from the SEC to offer blockchain-based stocks. Folks, this is where we're going. There's not going to be any more opening and closing bell. Everything's going to run on the blockchain. You'll be able to buy every stock in the world, fractionalized ownership. So you'll be able to buy 0.001 shares, and it's going to be very, very cheap because it'll be on the blockchain and it'll settle in seconds. But that's exactly where we're going. Also, Eleanor Tourette reports that following a prior delay to June 17th, the SEC Gov is inviting public comment on whether to approve CBOE's list of spot XRP ETFs and Solana as well. So they're looking for comments, and that generally that's a great sign. And a lot of polls are showing that it's going to be approved this year. Some even, I think it was Polymarket at 98%. Never seen Polymarket be wrong when it's that high of a percentage chance. Also, Eleanor Tourette commented on James K. Filan's post here with the pending motion for indicative ruling. She said, translation, the SEC and Ripple have filed a status report with the Second Circuit and are asking it to keep a pause on the appeals while waiting on a decision from the district court. So this thing could all be wrapped up any week, any month now, but there's a good chance that it gets wrapped up here in the next couple of months. Also, new Alchemy Pay collaborates with Ripple to integrate RLUSD for simplified fiat on-ramp as it continues to gain momentum. Also, CoinMarketCap says that XRP Ledger reaches historic 295,000 daily active users as the ledger continues to proliferate all sectors and areas of the world. Senate passes landmark crypto regulation bill on a bipartisan vote, sending it to the House. So that was you don't see very often where you get, in the upper echelon of 60 votes, but the final vote was 68 and 30 to 30 in vote favor of. So this is great to see it pass the Senate. And this is the first time that the Senate has passed major legislation to regulate digital assets. And this would be like a standalone bill, right? So now it's on to the House, and then it's on to the president's desk. And Trump himself said, don't delay it. We need to get this done. We're going to show the world how to win like never before with digital assets. And I don't think there's going to be any issues getting through the House, and obviously the president isn't going to delay it. So I don't think there's going to be any issue getting it through the House, but that's going to be the next hurdle to get over. And I do think that it will happen very, very soon. So introducing PAL Algo Alerts. I posted this on X. I actually pinned it to the top of my page. So we just released and basically did a whole overhaul of this service. And now we've got over 50 crypto and stocks in this. So we got a bunch of MJ stocks, a bunch of cryptos. There's over 50 assets now. And it's early buy and sell signals directly to your email and in Slack, or PAL Group private community. And it's a proprietary in-house algorithm, and it notifies you whenever stocks or crypto are oversold. You can look at the shorter term time frames or the longer term time frames. I really like the ultra oversold, which is the hourly, 4 hour, and daily time frame. If all of those are oversold at the same time, you get an email and you get a notification in our PAL Group private community. And we actually had some ultra oversold alerts go off, so you can use it as a great way to when to potentially buy or when to sell. And it's a great way to get notifications and potentially take a swing trade or a shorter term trade looking for a massive oversold bounce. But we've got over 20 custom indicators now, and a lot of people have been signing up for the new and improved POW Algo Alert service, and I'm getting a lot of great feedback on it. I really do appreciate all of the feedback and support that I've been getting, and glad to hear that everybody has been loving it. Also, Vietnam legalizes digital assets and unveils ambitious tech law for 2026. So again, we're seeing this this theme everywhere, right? We're seeing legalization of digital assets and spot ETFs, and it's not a coincidence, in my opinion, that it's all happened at the same time, because it's just a race right to the finish. No one wants to get left behind, and everybody wants to profit from this, once in a lifetime kind of upcoming. Well, it's already here to stay. Train has left the station, but people want to get a piece of the pie, right? And countries, companies, we're seeing it everywhere. Also, Coinbase and Circle stocks spiked double digits after the stablecoin bill cleared the Senate. So that's the Genius Act. Circle's been on an absolute tear, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pretty big pullback, especially with the geopolitical tensions that we've got going on. It's definitely overbought, very, very overbought in the short term. I actually heard a venture capitalist talking today, saying that he got in on Circle pre-IPO at like 26 cents. And if we just bring up the Circle chart real quick here, I think it hit a high of around 250. That was 248.88. So imagine getting that at like 26 cents. That's the opportunity we have with private investing and getting in before it hits the public markets. But again, we have all these stupid laws that say, oh, you're not accredited and you have to make $1 million or $200,000 a year for the last whatever years, and everywhere is different, every country is different. But you can go into a casino and gamble your life away and your savings. So it's just so stupid that you're too dumb to invest in it. It's obviously a facade, right? It's not that we don't want you. It's not that you're not capable or you're too dumb or whatever. It's not because they want to protect us. It's because they want to keep us out, right? They want the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's all it is, right? It's just a rigged game. So hopefully they bring down the walls for this accredited investor BS. And I think there's a good chance that could happen over the next few years. It's been a very big topic of contention, and a lot of lawmakers want to get that removed. So we'll see if that happens. That would be huge, absolutely massive for the industry. And watch, it would probably happen near all-time highs on the S&P 500 because that'd get everybody bullish, and then they would crash the market and ban Congress from owning stocks, just like they did the Federal Reserve in 2021. I think that's a very high possibility as well. And then, like I said, they'd probably do that near all-time highs, get everybody bullish, and then crash the market. And at that point, there'd be no reason to really keep it up, at least not for the foreseeable future. Also, China pushes for the digital yuan as part of new global currency system. China is accelerating its efforts to build financial systems that operate independently of Western institutions. And you're going to see, the private stablecoin industry. You're going to see CBDCs, centralized digital banks, central bank digital currency. You're going to see kind of like a mix of everything, right? Some companies are going to have stablecoins. Some countries are going to have stablecoins and rely on the private sector, right? Probably the U.S. But there's going to be some countries that create a CBDC, and the government wants to have a control, similar to China, right? It's communist. So it's not, obviously CBDCs are not very popular among citizens and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is there's going to be both in this new financial system that we're heading into, and companies like Ripple, they are working on private chains and whatnot, private ledgers and CBDCs, because there's going to be a market for it, right? So why not capitalize on it? If people are going to do it anyway, why not offer that service and profit from it? So, like I said, Ripple's a one-stop shop. They have custody, they have trading. It's insane how the opportunity. Just imagine. So the Circle IPO, how successful that was. I can say with almost certainty that when Ripple IPOs, it may be the most successful IPO ever, but it's going to turn a lot of heads. And my goal is to get it before it IPOs and buy it private, get involved in the private side of it before it hits the public markets and IPOs. But we'll do my best to get accredited here later on this year. Litecoin, XRP, and Solana ETF applications have a 95% chance of approval this year, says Bloomberg analyst. And they said, or higher. Again, Polymarket 98%. I'm not going to be surprised at all if it happens over the next couple of months, but I think it's nothing but a virtual certainty at this point that it gets approved this year. Last but not least, we have Texas Governor Greg Abbott signing strategic Bitcoin reserve bill into law. So this was kind of on the table, and I don't think anybody was surprised by this. But I don't know. I don't really, as long as they're not buying new, with taxpayer money, as long as they're not buying new Bitcoin at all-time highs, that's the only problem I would have with it. But if they're doing it, in a way to potentially just buy it or just hold on to like seized assets or something like that, I just think it's very, very concerning that Bitcoin's at all-time high, and you definitely want to be diversified as well, not just in Bitcoin, but a few other different currencies as well. What if we found out that the creator of Bitcoin was North Korea or some, terrorist group, right? It would not look good at all. So I hope they know what they're doing. All right, going in it there, it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know what you think of this news in the comment section. We'll continue the conversation there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again on the next one.